Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Brooklyn and today's video is my top 10 books of the year. I'm so excited to be sharing these with you. I have had some really good reads this year. I've had a definite favourite, so we will end on that one, so stick with us. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you all the books that I have loved the most this year because I've just had such a great reading year. Out of the 111 books I think I've read so far, like it's not completely the end of the year. I could potentially find my absolute favourite, you'd never know, but these ones just stuck out the most to me and I will share why. I'm very excited. Let's get into the video. In no particular order besides the first one, we'll leave that one to last. I want to talk about the Legacy of God series. Like, I'm making this one, so this series changed me. Really. I just had the absolute best time with this. If you don't know, Legacy of Gods is written by Rena Kent, and the Rena Kent universe is massive, and I didn't start at the very beginning. I started at something that had the best covers, I think, and I had heard so many great things about it. We've got God of Malice, Pain, God of Fury, God of War, Wrath. That's not in the right order, but somewhat like that. And this series follows a college dark romance, and it's like two competing colleges. There's like mafia involved. It's very sexy, very, very dark. It can get quite dark, especially the first few. I feel like it can get as dark towards the end. I don't know. Maybe I'm just desensitized now. Not sure, but that's fine. And yeah, I just had such a great time with these characters, just like the found family vibes. I remember reading the first book for the first time, the first chapter, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. It's making me so uncomfortable. And then after chapter 2, I was immediately hooked, and then I just binge read the whole series. So I can't wait to do that with the rest of Rena's books. And I know that she is definitely an auto-buy author for me, and I will be reading her entire backlist. And I'm just so excited to get to know all the characters and their families, because the other books that she's written are about their parents, so that's why I haven't really done it in the right order, but it doesn't matter. And now I'm just so excited to go back and know that they produce some of the most amazing children. So yeah, a very big mention to Legacy of Gods for maybe making me a dark romance girly, because it's not like the darkest thing I think I'll ever read by any means, but it's crossed that line of darkness, so I'm ready for more, you know? Then we have Fangirl Down, which is just right here by Tessa Bailey. I absolutely loved this book. It's the first book in the Big Shots companion novel series, and even though I didn't really love the sequel, I am still thriving over this book. Like, it was such a great time and I read it. I had the best time. It was golf romance, which is something that I never thought I would be into, but this girl it's also plus size, which isn't done enough, isn't represented enough in books, and that just like fed my soul, so I absolutely ate it up. But we have a #1 fan of this golf player, and he's like the biggest jerk, and his career is going like it's just going down, and he's just not doing so good anymore. And this chick is like his last fan. She doesn't care how rude he is to her or everyone else, doesn't care how badly he plays, she will still stick by him. And then kind of fate, I guess, happens. Things happen, and then she ends up being his coach, and coaches him back into, or she convinces him and goes on tour with him for like this last grand tour so he can win this trophy, and yeah, kind of gets him back into golf and his confidence back up. And then we see more of him, see more of her. She also is diabetic, which is something that isn't represented enough in books as well. So plus size diabetic golf romance, something that I didn't think was on the cards for me, but was definitely there, is definitely one of the favorite books of the year. So I'm really glad that I read that. Then we have Funny Story by Emily Henry. the best time reading this book, as I do with a lot of Emily's books. Like, they just hit so well for me every single time. This one I listen to, and I do tend to like listening to her books majority of the time. I don't know why, they just are perfectly done in that way. I haven't tried reading them physically, so maybe that's something I need to do next year. I really loved this story. I loved that her boyfriend left her for his girlfriend, and so they were together, and then they fake dated and then lived together, and eventually things started to amp up. There was also like daddy issues in it, which I connect with that. I vibe with it. And just a whole lot of fun stuff. And he owned a restaurant and like did like wine tastings, I'm pretty sure it was wine or like gin or vodka or something like that. And then that was just so much fun, and they were just such amazing characters, and she just writes relationships really, really well. So realistic and just so fun and just lovely and heartwarming to read. So absolutely love that and recommend it. If you love Emily Henry, you will love that book. And even I reckon it's just the book to recommend for people if they want to get into Emily Henry. Next is Abby Jimenez books, specifically Part of Your World. This book changed me. It was giving Grey's Anatomy. It was just like literally girl boss and sexy ass man and Airbnb vibes. Like, I didn't know I needed that. First Abby Jimenez book, and it changed me forever. Made her an auto-buy author for me, and I've read a lot of her books, if not all of them, now since reading this book. So that's how good it was. It made me go on and read all of her books. I just had the best time with this, and I can't get over it. I really want to reread it soon because I don't remember it that well, like, honestly, but I just remember having such a good time with it. It follows a woman whose husband cheated on her or something. They're going through a really messy divorce. So she's newly divorced. It's a very good meet cute, and she stumbles upon this very, very cute man who's quite like a lot younger than her, and this unexpected romance forms, but he lives like 3 hours away. So it's very good. It's very like lighthearted, but she also hits some really tough topics, and there's just some like really good humorous things in there, and it sets up really well for the rest of the books in this series. So I really had a great time, and one of the best books that I read this year. Probably my second favorite. The Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I did the Chestnut Springs readathon with Claire, Brittany and Leandra. Leandra and Brittany dropped out, so then it was just me and Claire, but mostly Claire. She did an amazing job hosting this, and I had the best time, and I think that's why I enjoyed this series so much, was just the experience of reading it with other people and then hosting or co-hosting a read-along. Like, it was just so fun, and these books were just amazing. I gave all of them 5 stars. I had the best time in each of them. I've got a video for all of them if you want to see my experience getting into my cowboy romance era. But basically, yeah, I can't get enough of it. I need to read more Elsie Silver, another author I will immediately pick up, and I cannot wait to read the connected series to these ones as well. Then we have Kingdom of Ash. I can't get it. It's up there. Just know she's up there. That book broke me, and I won't go into it because I can't. I mentally, physically, spiritually cannot talk about it. But the best conclusion to a series ever, and I am still not recovered. It's something that I think about on a daily basis, and I think that will always just be that book for me. And I do have a whole vlog on it, so if you want to actually hear some thoughts besides this book broke me, like even thinking about it now I could cry, but I'm not going to because it's Christmas. No crying about Kingdom of Ash on Christmas. Yeah, so then we have the Dark Olympus series, specifically the first book, Neon Gods. I was recommended this book by Brianna from Four Paws and a Book, and man, it changed my life. I like binge read this series so quickly. I listened to all of these books, but I just have like such a love for the first one because it does follow Persephone and Hades, and it's a dark romance retelling, and it is absolutely everything that you need. This whole series really is like it has polyamorous relationships, it has gay, lesbian, everything, bi, it's just got it all. And like more than that, I just can't even every time I think about it, I'm like, oh yes. But it really does a good job of creating a retelling that really reflects the characters and the Greek gods, the Greek goddesses, and just like other heroes in Greek mythology. And I just loved that about it, and I had such a great time. So yeah, I am really looking forward to reading more of Katie Robert. I have had a bad experience with another one of her books, the Vampire and the Court one. Didn't love that one as much, but I still really did enjoy these books, so I will continue to pick up her books and see how I like them. This one is so good. It's about fencing, which is something I also didn't think would be in the cards for me to enjoy. But it's like teenage romance, angsty. I don't know if it's teenage. They might be in like university, but it's set in Japan. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but it's like this fencing school or like university or something, really competitive. It made me so aware of like what fencing is and like how much goes into it. Like it's actually a team sport in some cases, and I just love that. I love the whole team, the characters, and just like the friendships and relationships in it are so good. And yeah, I really got into it this year, and I can't wait to continue with this series because it's so good. And C.S. Cat really knows how to write a gay relationship. She's the best at it. Please read Captive Prince. I really recommend that too, but I didn't read that this year. I read that like 10 years ago, so last but certainly not least, I read Phantasma this year, and that is my favourite book of 2024. I also have a reading vlog for this one, so I won't go into it too much, but this book was everything I needed and more. I didn't know what to expect really when going into this, but it gave me more than I could have ever expected, really. It was dark romance filled with just so much stuff. Like, I can't even begin to explain how good this book is. It's one of those books where you don't know if it's fantasy, romance, or like horror. Like, it really combines all those elements together and shocks you in the most glorious ways. It also had like the best plot twist ever that I did not guess, and I wasn't expecting it at all, so I had the greatest time with it. And I can't wait for the sequel that's coming out next year about her sister, which this one was, she was basically on the search for her sister, mystery surrounding her family and her background and everything. Her sister wasn't in this one that much, but we are going to follow her a bit more closely in the next one and see her relationship come to life. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know down below what your favourite books of the year were, and if you had a specific favourite, I would love to know so I can put it on my list to read. And yeah, I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!